Have you ever stood at the edge of a decision that could change your life forever? A decision so small, yet so powerful, that it could either lift you to greatness or drag you into guilt. That's exactly where Rohan stood that afternoon. The school corridors were silent after lunch. Sunlight filtered through the classroom windows, drawing golden lines across the dusty desks. And there, right on the teacher's table, lay an envelope, white, crisp, and marked in bold red letters, "Confidential, final exam answers." Rohan froze. His heart thumped like a drum in his chest. For a few seconds, he just stared at it. His eyes flickered around. No one was there. His friends were in the canteen. The teacher hadn't returned. The world, it seemed, had gone still. He swallowed hard. His mind began whispering things he didn't want to hear. "You've worked so hard this year," it said. "You deserve a break. No one will ever find out. It's just a peek." But then another voice rose, softer, calmer, but powerful. "Rohan, don't do it. This is not who you are." He looked at his hands, trembling, caught between right and wrong. His father's tired face flashed in his mind, lying in bed, coughing, still smiling, saying, "Make me proud, son." And his mother's eyes, full of hope, waiting for him to bring home good news. He could feel his heartbeat echo in the empty room. One step forward and everything could change. One choice, one secret, one mistake. His fingers brushed against the envelope, and for a moment, temptation almost won. But then he saw his reflection in the classroom window, and it scared him. He saw fear, greed, and weakness staring back. "No," he whispered, pulling his hand away. He took a deep breath, turned around, and ran out of the classroom. He didn't know why, but he felt lighter. The war inside wasn't over, but for that moment, he had won the first round. Because sometimes, true strength isn't in fighting the world. It's in saying no to the voice inside your head when it tempts you to do wrong. The next morning, Rohan sat in his classroom, staring blankly at the blackboard. The teacher's words faded into a distant hum. On the outside, he looked calm, but inside, his mind was a battlefield. He hadn't cheated, but the thought of almost doing it kept haunting him. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw that white envelope and the version of himself who almost gave in. The guilt ate at him. During lunch, Mr. Sharma, his teacher, walked by and stopped near his desk. "Rohan," he said gently, "you've been quieter than usual. Is something bothering you?" Rohan quickly shook his head. "No, sir, I'm fine." Mr. Sharma smiled. "Sometimes, the strongest storms are the ones no one else can see. Remember, son, the real test is not on paper, it's the one happening inside your mind." Those words stuck with Rohan. That night, he decided to face his thoughts. He sat cross-legged on the floor, closed his eyes, and tried to listen, not to the world, but to himself. At first, it was chaos. His mind ran wild, fears, regrets, worries, all at once. But then, he started breathing slowly, letting each thought pass like a cloud in the sky. And for the first time in weeks, he felt calm. He began practicing every night, just sitting still, breathing, observing. It wasn't easy, but he noticed something incredible. The more he practiced, the more control he had. He started waking up early, studying with focus, eating on time, helping his mother without being asked. He didn't need to force discipline, it began growing naturally inside him. He realized that discipline isn't about rules, it's about respect. Respect for your time, your thoughts, and your goals. As the final exams approached, Rohan was ready, not just academically, but mentally. When he sat in that exam hall, he felt peace. No fear, no guilt, no temptation. Just quiet confidence. Weeks later, when the results came, he stood second in the class. But for him, that wasn't the victory. The real victory was that he had defeated his weakest self, the one who wanted the easy way out. He had learned to control his mind, and that changed everything. Months later, the entire school gathered in the assembly hall. The air buzzed with chatter and excitement as Mr. Sharma walked up to the stage, holding a small golden trophy. "Today," he began, "we are not celebrating grades, we are celebrating greatness." Everyone fell silent. He looked around and said, "True greatness is not about scoring the highest marks or winning every competition. It's about mastering yourself, your thoughts, your temptations, your fears. And there is one student who showed me what that truly means. He called out, "Rohan, please come up." The hall erupted in applause. Rohan walked to the stage, nervous but proud. He had no idea why he was being called. "Mr. Sharma" smiled at him and said, "You may not know this, but a few months ago, I left something on my desk, an envelope marked with the exam answers." Gasps filled the hall. "Yes, Mr. Sharma continued, it was a test, not of intelligence, but of integrity. I wanted to see who could resist temptation when no one was watching. And this young man did." Rohan stood frozen. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. That moment in the empty classroom, the decision that had haunted him, was now being spoken about in front of everyone. But instead of shame, he felt peace. The applause grew louder. His classmates looked at him with new respect. Mr. Sharma placed a hand on his shoulder. "Rohan," he said, "the greatest power any human can have is the power to control his own mind. When you master your thoughts, you master your destiny." Tears welled in Rohan's eyes. He realized something deep. Honesty and discipline weren't rules to follow, they were strengths to live by. Years later, Rohan became a motivational speaker, standing on stages before thousands. He told this story, the day he chose honesty over temptation, discipline over fear. He always ended with one line that touched every heart. "The real war is not outside you, it's inside your mind. Win that, and the world will follow." The crowd would rise in applause, their hearts full, their minds inspired. Because Rohan's story wasn't just about him. It was about all of us.